Okay, everyone, welcome. Welcome back to, I think this is part 7 of our 15-part series, Mario Before 40, where I attempt to beat as many Mario games as I can before I turn 40 and become too old for video games and, life in general. I'm pretty sure, based on the past the life so far, there's going to be a precipitous drop in my interest in playing video games. Not a maturity thing. Life is coasting to a stop thing. So here we are. It's currently freezing here. I know a dynamite way to start any sort of show like this is to talk about the weather. So there's me talking about the weather. It's very cold here. We actually, I have the day off work for snow and cold. It might just be cold. I don't know. It's like, I don't question it. When someone's like, we're closed today, don't come into work, I'll be the last person to ask why. Because I don't really care why. If someone's just calling me to say, don't come in, that is a gift horse I'm not going to look in the mouth. Okay? I don't care if that gift horse has the worst dental health of any equine creature ever. I'm still going to leave it alone. Because what if I say, why am I not supposed to come in today? And then my boss is like, you know what, you're right, you should come in today. There's no reason not to come in. And I'll be like, well, I'm glad I had you reevaluate that. That was really smart of me to do. I'm drinking a cup of hot water also. Because I had coffee this morning. I'll probably have more this afternoon. But part of getting closer to 40 is you can't just coffee all day. That's not gonna work. Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. You can talk to me before I've had it, though. I didn't have any till 10 a.m. yesterday, and I probably woke up at 6 or 7. I was fine. I'll tell you what does happen, though, if I don't have it. Because I did this sort of... I had some kind of a stomach ache or something, so I was like, ugh, coffee just doesn't sound good today. So I skipped it one morning, and everything was fine except for maybe around 4 o'clock. I was like, okay, I'm kind of ready to go to bed, and sort of wish the day was over so I could do that. And I wasn't even depressed or anything. It was just pure I'm tired. I am tired. Let's see, it's taken me about 4 or 5 minutes to get through World 1. So if I maintain this pace, it should only take me about a half hour to finish this game. Maybe 45 minutes. That's great news. I thought it might take longer. Grapes. I always thought as a kid there should be something up here better than just coins. I mean, coins are great. Don't get me wrong, I like coins. But, it seemed like it should be a 1-up. Just a straight up extra guy. There's gotta be a technique to get all these, right? Something other than that. Twang. I think the last video I put up of this was the most viewed one so far. My suspicion is it's got something to do with some kind of weird YouTube algorithmic thing. Maybe it's because there's a Mario movie happening. somehow that got confused with what I'm doing, which is not a Mario movie. I mean, it's a Mario movie of sorts. If this was 2007, someone could definitely come make a documentary about this, you know, and then I would talk about how, like, Nintendo was like a surrogate parent as a child, and how it was so nice to explore these different worlds. You know, like what some people get out of books, I got out of Nintendo. I was like, oh, you get to explore this world somebody else created. That's, you know, fantastical and magical and fun. Look at that. I already wrote the documentary. Someone just has to come film it. And then maybe get in some kind of a disagreement with the rest of the movie crew or something. Create some kind of drama there. So that we can, I don't know, in case you need like a B plot, or maybe a B plot that turns into the A plot. You know how these things go. Oh, son of a gun. Meow. 69 coins exactly, just like I planned. But yeah, that would be the way to make this documentary. I say if this was like 2007 or something, because I feel like that was the real heyday of the quirky documentary. You know, or like you'd read a lot of books, nonfiction, about like someone doing a weird quest. You know, like or a weird subculture. Like this is the subculture of professional Scrabble, or like. There was one I tried to read one time, and it was about a guy who was trying to play professional football, I think by becoming a kicker, which, you know, is probably the most realistic way to play football if you're, like, not a football player and never have been, really. And I didn't enjoy it. Maybe I would now, but that was the one I remember where I was just like, you know, I think I've had enough of quest books. So then I decided to do my own quest. Maybe that's like been the theme this year. You know, I do a thing every year called Pot of Weed on the podcast. And it's like, 31 days, 31 podcasts. And usually I pick like a spooky subject, or tell little, you know, true crime horror stories or something like that. And this year, I did like a sort of semi-improvised story called Phantom of the Hip Opera. And I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, I don't really enjoy this kind of thing to listen to. Like, I don't listen to improv comedy or anything. But then I was like, well, maybe you should just try it then. Maybe you'll have a new respect for it. And then I was like, well, I kind of doubt that, but, you know, me becoming respectful seems like an unlikely outcome. But, I was like, maybe you should just try it and see what happens. Maybe you'll like it, or maybe you'll do it. Maybe you'll be the best at it there ever was. Spoiler, if you haven't listened to it, I was not the best there ever was at what I did. But it turned out okay. So, you know, maybe this is like my, let's make a documentary about a quest, type situation, and maybe I'll do it right. Seems possible, right? Oh my god. The other funny thing is, like, if a documentary crew did do that with me, I think at this point they'd be getting pretty worried. Because they'd be like, what if he doesn't finish any Mario, really? Like, what if he can't beat the first game, and it just doesn't ever come together for him? which would be a pretty legitimate concern at this juncture, I think. But, you know, like I've said before, I think the worst outcome would be if I did, and that would be for a documentary as well, would be like if I don't know, made it into Mario 3 pretty deep and then kind of just like lost steam or something. I think Mario 3 is going to be a pretty big challenge. I don't remember much of Mario 2, I just have a feeling that that's not going to be too tough. But I don't know, that could be completely unwarranted hubris. But I know if I can get through Mario 3, I know I can get through Super Mario World. I've done that. Oh, I think I forgot to mention last time the Game Boy Marios, which I do plan to play. Super Mario Land and Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. Although I tried to play Part 2, the 6 golden coins, not that long ago, and it wasn't bad, except for the final stage, Wario's Castle or whatever, is really difficult. I was kind of shocked at how difficult it was, and was like, holy crap. I don't know if I can finish this. So I guess we'll find out, huh? I don't know, I used to have that game when I was a kid, and I remember thinking it was extremely easy. But, you know, that was also a time when you're like, well, I've got a lot of time to play this same game over and over, and like, especially on Game Boy, if you had a pretty decent game, you're like, alright, well, I'm just gonna play this literally anytime I can in the car. Right. Maybe it's good to at least get some one-ups, right? Because they can, like, you know, maybe make it without having to continue so many times. Get to World 8 faster. Get to the business end of things. I feel like I've kept saying that, like, World 5 is when it starts to get sort of serious. And I think that's true. I don't remember which things are where, really. But also, it's like, as soon as I decide that something is easy, that's when it starts giving me trouble. You know, once I'm like, oh, this section is easy. Then it's like, the next time I play it, not so easy, is it? I think I can go this way. Let's hope I haven't made a terrible mistake. Good. Good. I also noticed that the last video is the most popular and is the one where I talked the least, I think. I'm chalking that up to total coincidence. I cannot be what people prefer. Right? I did elect to not, you know, have a little screen with my face on it in like a picture-in-picture or something. I mean, I could do that. I just, and I don't mean I could do that in that way of like, I could do that, I don't want to. Oh, shit. I mean that in a way of, literally I could do that, but I don't think anyone wants to see that. I don't think there's anything super incredibly enticing about seeing my face while I play this game, or in any scenario. Maybe that's the big thing. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really, like, into that anyway. We were looking, so my mom, the last time I visited her, she gave me a huge box with, like, a bunch of photos and other scrapbooky type stuff from my youth. Because she was like, you know, I've always said, like, every winter, I'm like, this is the winter I'm going to digitize all this stuff. And I never do it. So I finally decided to give up and just give it all to you. And it seemed like every picture, I have this look on my face of like, I feel very awkward being in this picture. And you know, there's no explanation for it or anything. It just seems to be how I'm feeling. And I don't know why. But yeah, being in pictures has never been my thing. Being in motion pictures has never been a thing for me either. Oh, come on. Can I make it? Woo. It's just not, I don't know. Just not in love with my own face, I guess. I wonder if that's a thing for movie stars. Like, maybe that's what makes you a movie star, is you're like, I don't mind people seeing my face. Or, you know, I can watch myself on the screen and it's not, like, excruciating. Like, I can listen to myself talk. If I listen to, like, very old episodes of podcasts, which I was doing at one point to, like, make a best of, which, you know, was a very low ratio, by the way. The hit-miss ratio is all whacked out. But, you know, I was doing it anyway. So I had to listen to a lot of me talking. And it was fine. I wouldn't recommend it. But, you know, it wasn't... A lot of people tell me, oh, it's horrible to listen to yourself on whatever. And I'm like, just get over it. A lot of people will say something, too. I guess there's some kind of, you know, science of sound or something where your voice sounds different to you in your head than it does when you listen to it. But probably when you're listening to it, that's what other people are hearing. But, you know, get over it. You'll be fine. No one cares. It's not like, you know, when I have a guest on something or whatever, I don't expect Casey Kasem to show up. Ah, shit. Asshole. Hate that asshole. You know, playing this game is convenient, because I think there's some YouTube thing where, like, your stuff gets demonetized if there's a swear within a certain short interval after the video starts. And I don't know what that interval is, but also I don't make any money from YouTube currently. YouTube used to be, if I understand correctly, was like you could upload your videos to it, right? And then you could choose to monetize them. So they'd put ads on them. But then now I'm pretty sure they just put ads on everything. And it's like, well, you don't really get to choose if you have ads. It's just, guess what? You've got ads. Because I always was like, I'm never going to have ads on my stuff that I make. Which, you know, I would totally sell out and have ads at this point. Because I'm like, whatever. It takes me, you know, I don't know. If I could make money by doing anything other than working, I would probably do it. Even if that meant selling out big time. I wouldn't even do something, you know, where I was like, well, I'll only advertise a product I use and believe in. Because I'd be like, I mean, I don't really believe in underwear like MeUndies. I don't not believe in it. But, you know, I'm soft micro modal or something. I'm like, who cares? That was an unfortunate string of events there. Would have been nice to get through World 5. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the extra lives, right? Like, if I can get through World 5 without having to continue, that speeds it up. Maybe I should be running more. But maybe slow and steady wins the race. Maybe slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Do you think it's funny that, okay, they're like, what do you need on the screen? I'm like, well, I guess points, but I mean, that's obviously just an arcade holdover, right? Where they were like, well, we're just gonna put points on there because games have points. But, you know, we don't really care. And then, coins. Okay, well, Mario, first of all, I'm like, I think I know who I am. Thank you very much. If I'm capable of reading the word Mario, then I think I'm capable of understanding who I am. And there's really only a couple options, right? But then, coins, alright. You know, I guess for those trying to keep track, to be like, should I make a desperate bid for a few coins, or do I have 7? And I should probably just say, it's not worth the risk. But then you get to World 5-2, and you're like, well, it's not information that I need to have available to me at every point playing this game. It tells me in between. And I think it's weird that it tells you the world, but not the number of lives you have. That seems more valuable to me for some reason. Even though it's not, because it's not like I make different decisions based on the number of lives I have. You know, I make terrible decisions across the board. If there's a board for me to make decisions across, I will make bad decisions across that board. Just to be safe, I'll duck. And I guess time, I don't know. I remember time being more of a challenge before, but I think that was before I knew that, like, in the later stages, you kind of have to just keep moving forward. Like, you can't really afford to do a lot of standing and waiting. And now I know that. Now I'm a mature adult. I'm 39, everyone, so I know that you have to keep moving in Mario. Damn it. You can tell I'm a mature adult by that decision I just made. That's a decision based in patience. Kind of unfortunate for Bowser. Like, okay, Mario comes from Brooklyn, right? Sort of by accident. And then Bowser's designed this castle that's presumably, like, impenetrable for anyone who's not, you know, real adept at jumping. So he probably was like, no one's ever going to get to this castle. I'm perfectly safe. And then this guy shows up pretty much out of nowhere. As much out of nowhere as anyone could possibly be in this context. That's where Mario's from. And then Bowser's like, well, shit. Kinda didn't expect that. No good. It'd be sort of like, you know, if you designed a medieval-style castle with a moat and a big door, and then someone invented the hot air balloon, and they could just, like, drop bombs on you from above, because you're like, well, I in no way protected this area from above, because why would I? That was totally unnecessary up until this moment. It had never occurred to me that someone would figure out a way to just sort of float through the sky overhead and do this to me. Real jerk. Real jerk, this guy. With the stuff my mom gave me, there were like Christmas lists in there. Because, back in the day, that's what you did, right? You wrote out a little Christmas list and gave it to your mom, who I guess presumably gave it to Santa or whatever. I was never very clear on how that worked. But in my town, they used to publish Christmas lists in the newspaper. And I was like, I wonder if they still do that. They should. It's fun. Also, it's weird to just see, like, what kids are interested in. Because that feels like, when you're a kid, something you'll never really lose touch with. And I promise you will, as an adult. You'll be like, I don't even know what a Beyblade is. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Is a Beyblade the knife that Bay uses to make food for me? That's all I could think of. But yeah, and I know mine, there's one that was particularly hilarious because it's a very carefully written out list of Ghostbusters toys. With the exact names of the toys. Like, down to capitalization and everything. I do feel like, though, today, if people printed, like, a kid's Christmas list in the newspaper, it would prompt, like, an op-ed of, like, kids these days just want stuff without working for it, or something like that. Which seems a little unfair, because it's like, well, A, they're kids. I mean, they're not going to give me a job anywhere when I'm a kid. But B, like, come on. What do you want to hire a kid at your warehouse? No, of course you don't. But also, B, it's like, who does? It's like these recent stories about, like, people don't want to work anymore. And I'm like, I got news for you. People never wanted to work. I mean, if you have a certain kind of job and anybody's like, well, unless you have a certain kind of job that you're just like, I just love it because whatever. You're that person. I would think anyone given the choice of like, well, you can have your exact same life and do no work, or have the same life and continue to work. What maniac is going to be like, I'll do the work one? Like, what are you trying to prove? And I don't know, maybe there's something to the idea of like, well, it's good for us to do something. You know what I mean? Like, it's good for us all to work in some capacity or have things we need to do. But on the other hand, like, I don't know. I don't know whose job falls into that category, but not mine. It's not like the world would fall apart if I stopped working. No one would be like, oh my god, this important surgery that was supposed to happen. He was the best at it. Now, we're doomed. There would be no concerns about that. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, weirdly now, there are these ideas about working that have come into like op-eds and stuff that I'm just like, what did you think it was like at work? Like, is this just the opinion of someone who hasn't been to work for a really long time and had to get a job or something? And then they're like, holy shit, it's like people don't really like being here. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. It's like, it's not their strongest desire to be here or something. Or maybe it's like a better way would be like, people don't want to work that much. It's like, maybe if we worked half as much, it would be a little bit easier to find people who are like, it's good for me to do a little something. You know how like everybody is sort of like, oh, well, I don't know if I'll really retire. I'll find a volunteer job or something. It's like, maybe if our jobs felt more like that, we'd all be better. Or quiet quitting. That's one of my favorites. Where it's like, so quiet quitting, in case you haven't read these things, is the idea of like, people are doing their job, but they're not like going balls out on their job. They're not trying as hard as they possibly can. And so, and I guess the idea is that's bad or wrong or something, or not how it's always been. And I'm like, have you ever been to a workplace? Because I think every workplace I've been, there are people who are in a constant state of, not working as hard as they possibly can. And there are also people who go through cycles, where they're like, well, I do my job most of the time, but, let's say twice a year I have a couple weeks where I'm like, I'm fried. I'm done. Or, I think everybody does quiet quitting, like, you're about to go on a long overdue vacation for a week, where you're just, like, completely away from work, and you don't have to do obligations and stuff. I mean, I think everybody's got that, so, like, it's the day before, and you've kind of got everything wrapped up, and you're like, well, I'm kind of just here because I'm supposed to be, and, whatever. But really, someone should just send you home, because it's like, listen, you're not doing anything. We all know. But yeah, I love quiet quitting, because I was just like, since when is the job to be like, not only to do your job, but to like, kill yourself doing your job, you know what I mean? Or to make that the most important thing in your life or whatever. And also, I'm like, hey, if my job wants me to work harder, you just tell me that, you know what I mean? I don't know why I'm supposed to be in charge of like, I don't think I'm working at 110%, That doesn't seem like my job. That seems like my boss's job. But also, don't a lot of us have jobs where it's like, working at 70% versus 110, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's all fine. Everyone's gonna be fine. Flame turds just come out of nowhere, huh? Trying to like practice running under him so that maybe I'll be able to do it when I need to. It'd be nice. Well, 30-ish minutes now. I guess I should have beaten the game by now. I'm a little behind. I'm one world behind. But as we discussed before, one world takes about 5 minutes, so I'm doing great. I'm in great shape. I think these are the levels where it would start to matter, like the time, if you didn't kind of keep chugging. Or, maybe it's like, it kind of makes it impossible, right? It becomes a trap a little, like the coins and stuff, because it's like, well, if you were to stop and get all the coins, there's no way you would make it. Or you're like, I'm gonna fight all the enemies instead of skipping over them, or hit all the blocks, do whatever. It's like you'd never make it in a bajillion of years. Pearl, 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 pearl. I feel like that, like, Kitu was like, who the hell put this brick wall here? This is, like, completely destroying my ability to drop things on people. What were they thinking? What were the designers of this kingdom thinking? Oh, dang it. Maybe this is like London, you know, and this is like the Blitz London at this point that I'm playing. So they're like, we have anti-bombing things in place. You like how I'm giving you a little history lesson? The littlest of little history lessons. Damn it. Boo-woo. I still cannot get over that I had no idea about this whole day start from the same world trick before. If it was start from the same level, this game would be easy. Start from the same world still leaves a pretty good challenge, apparently. I may need to get like a guidebook here to be like, where can I get mushrooms and stuff in this particular world? Where can I get power-ups, etc.? Because I think my current methods are leaving a little something to be desired, apparently. That thing is so cruel, because I always think for like a brief second, you know, the end of the level. That's the only place you got that stacked up, right? And then you're like, nope, this is the end. This much crueler version. Which isn't like super hard to navigate, but is like its psychological power is not to be underestimated. I think the other cruel thing about this game currently is like, I still have only, I think, once so far gotten to the last castle, right? Presumably, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the last castle on my first try, especially if I get there with like one life, right? If I have one life to live, I don't like my odds on that last castle. Oh! That was mean. That was mean-spirited of this game. I wonder, like, what peak Nintendo age is. Because I feel like everyone would say young, because you'd have fast reflexes or something. But I also wonder about being a little older, just patience-wise. I mean, that might not be an issue for everyone, but for me, absolutely it's an issue. That would affect my gameplay. I think being a slightly more patient player has helped me be a little better at this game and others. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe like the patience level versus fast twitch. Oh my god, fast reflexes level. One bullet that time. That's part of what's cruel about this game, is some things are like very unpredictable in it, aren't they? See, I thought I read somewhere you can make these guys go away. If they like go off the screen too far or something. Come on. Okay. Let's see if I can get one of these for once. Go! Oh, no. Oh, but what a price we paid for it. Oh, damn it. Okay, we're back. I had to do a pee. It's so cold, we're letting our taps run so the pipes don't freeze. And, what's really annoying is, like, if you live in a cold weather environment, there should be, like, a mode where you just, like, push a button and it lets the taps drip. Because you have to, like, open the tap and then, get it dripping and then open the other tap and make sure it's dripping and, like, sort of precisely work the tap so it's at a level where it's dripping, but it's dripping as little as you need it to. So every time you, like, go to wash your hands or use the sink or whatever, you just have to, like, reset and do it all over. It's not, like, a horrible hardship. It's just so fucking annoying. Like, you don't even realize it. I'm like, I should just use hand sanitizer when we have to do this, because fuck it. Like, trying to reset these taps all the time. Yeah, it's horrible. I was listening to a podcast that had Max Brooks, the author of World War Z, which, if you haven't read, is excellent. It's nothing like the movie. And I definitely disliked the movie when I saw it because of that. Now I think I'm kind of like, they're just two different things. It's like how I feel about comic book movies, which is like, yeah, they usually don't have much to do with the comics, and so whatever. I think, though, with World War Z, what I didn't like about the movie not being like the book was that I was like, well, it's not like they're going to make another World War Z movie that's like the book. You know what I mean? It's like this property's kind of been burned now. So it's, that dream is over. Oh, shit. That's the end. Shit. So that property's been, like, burned, and we're not going to get another one. And I was like, I would have liked to see the movie. I think that would have been a great movie, but whatever. And Max Brooks was saying on there, he's like, all these people think they're, like, big survivalists or whatever. And he's like, but the truth is, most of us are pretty screwed. Because he's like, even if you have, like, a stockpile of supplies and stuff, he's like, what are you going to do, when you have, when you wake up one morning and your testicles are really sore and you feel a lump in there and you're like, oh my God, I know what this is. And he's like, the way our world is now, like, we're set up to deal with that, right? But, if, the shit hit the fan and it's like, well, you've got your supply, your bunker, your guns, you're all set. But he's like, but unless you have, like, what do you call those? Why can't I think of the word? Whatever. The right kind of doctor to help you out with whatever your particular problem is, you'll be screwed. Oh, fuck. And, I guess, and he made a good point, and I have to say, so, like, it's very cold out right now, and we had, our furnace was shut off, our gas was shut off this week for a little while. Oh, that's crap. Our gas was shut off for a few days, and it wasn't super cold yet, and now it's like, -7, and our furnace is working again, which is great. But, we spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday night with no heat in the winter. And it was damn cold. And, like, you are quite miserable. And I had just heard that interview with Max Brooks, and I was like, I think I know what he's talking about. Because I'm like, you think, like, it would be fine, but then you're like, oh yeah, the winter is going to be horrible. And, like, I know you can do things and you would have, I don't know, a campfire, I guess, but, man, it is going to be rough. That's the thing. I think if there was sort of an apocalypse like that, I think people would have a stronger desire to, like, rebuild things as they were. I mean, I'm not saying the world is perfect. But I'm saying that, when you go without heat for like 3 days, and it's, getting down into the 20s at night, there are aspects of things that seem not so bad. And when you start learning about how like your furnace works, and you're like, okay, so this gas comes through a pipe, and then it shoots into this thing, and it gets ignited by this thing, and all this stuff. And you're like, and I know this is sort of like a basic machine at this point, but pretty nice. Pretty nice. So I think it's like so many people focus on the stuff like, oh, well, we wouldn't have Wi-Fi. You poor babies wouldn't have your Wi-Fi to watch your TikToks and whatever. And I'm like, well, yeah, that I don't think I'd mind so much, but not having running water would be tougher than you think. If you had to haul your water by hand from, a water source and sanitize it every day and stuff, that would get old real fucking quick. Like, if you've ever been backpacking, you kind of know. Because when you go backpacking, and it's sort of like, everything is harder than when you're at home, right? Like, I don't know, usually the day would start with like, I gotta take a leak. And you'd be freezing, you know what I mean? You'd be so cold in the sleeping bag, but you're like, well, I have to get up because I have to pee. I mean, I got no choice but to pee. And so here we go. So that gets you up in the morning, and then you're kind of like, shit. Okay. And then you're kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to start a fire, because you can't really do anything until you have a fire. And then you're like, okay, well, I gotta get some water, so you get that, and then you put it on the fire to boil, so it's like, doesn't kill you when you try to drink it. Oh, okay. Oh no. No! How did he know I was gonna jump? So you put the water on the fire, you do all these things, right? And that was 3 bullets that time. And just like the basic things that you would do at home, you get up, you brush your teeth or whatever, takes 5 minutes. You're camping, it takes 20 minutes. It takes forever for the water to boil. And then, you do all that work, by the way, and it's like, this is to have a drink of water, maybe like a packet of oatmeal. And you're still freezing the entire time. And you had to basically build your shelter last night. And like, there's an appeal to that. Sometimes it's fun because you're like, I don't know, it's fun to do something different, right? But after like 3 or 4 days, I think most people, myself for sure, kind of like max out on that and are like, the novelty of this is certainly worn off. Whatever novelty there may have been is definitely gone. The charm of this is gone, and I'm like, I just kind of want to like make a breakfast and not have to think about it so much, not have to carry it in with me. I want to go and take a dump without having to dig a hole first, or put it in a bag and take it somewhere or whatever. Damn it. I don't know. You just sort of get worn down by it over time. But here's the other thing, though, that's weird and I guess different that, maybe against what Max Brooks says, right? Is like, when you're camping, part of the thing is, too, though, it's not like I'm doing all this stuff and then going to work, right? So I don't have to, like, haul water, boil water, and then go to work. Whereas when your furnace is out, and, you have no hot water and everything's kind of more difficult, you have to do all this stuff, but also you still have to do your normal life stuff. And so that's, like, I think what really sort of wore me down was, like, Or, you know, if you have someone in your family who's, like, very sick or something for an extended period, I think what makes it so hard is you have to, like, live that life and you have to live normal life. So, in other words, you have to care about your, like, basic survival in a new way, but also you have to, like, go to a work Christmas party or something that you're like, hey, maybe you don't want to go or whatever. Or, you know, you have to, like, go and be a normal person. Like, you can't go and just be like, all I really think about is this other thing that is crushingly sad. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you guys about it because, like, there's no use in you thinking about it and being sad. But this is really my entire life right now. So, like, not having heat is a very minor version of that. Where you're just like, I have to do all my shit. Oh, damn it. That was like 5 close calls and then a close call that resulted in death. Oh, no. I guess close call comes from the idea of, like, baseball, right? You go into the base, and it was like, did he make it? Was he safe? It was a close call. But close call doesn't really imply making it or not, right? Just in and of itself. Shit. Alright. Just to give this one more go. I'll give this one more go. Uh-oh. Okay. I thought I didn't do it. The password thing is very generous. It's not as difficult as your up, down, downs. Mm-hmm. And you just get out of the groove at some point. Da-da-da-da. I don't know where I just went in my brain. It was somewhere. I think I was thinking about trying to do the, you know, the 100 lives trick. And I was like, maybe I should just do a save state there and practice it until I can do it. And then that would be a way to win the game. This is the dumbest thing I've done so far. What I'm doing right now. Damn it! I always forget that guy's gonna be right there. Oh, shit. And then you gotta start at the beginning. My gameplay is like a badly edited novel where you've got the beginning is you pretty much got down at this point, right? Because every time you edited it, you started at the beginning. And so you've edited the beginning by the time you finish 35 times. And then maybe chapter 12 or so, you're like, I kind of lose steam by then, so I've only edited chapter 12 like once or twice. You're like, yeah, it doesn't feel quite as tight once you get a little further in. Your explanation makes... Oh, sucker. Alright, well, one life to live. Let's see what we can do with it. Let's see if this reflects reality and I waste it. No! Okay. Okay. Looking good. Promising. Oh, God. Up. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Here we go. That went through him. Oh! Boy, did I almost doom myself. I hit something. Yes! Yes! Yes. Look at that. Alright. Well. If I was a betting man. Okay, I think I tried this once and this pipe didn't work. So let's just move on to whatever our next option might be. Let's try pipe 2. And there were 3 Goombas behind it. I think I just went to the same... Okay. So I think pipe 1, or pipe 2 goes to pipe 1, basically. Let's try pipe 3. This is new. Okay, so I'm gonna guess pipe 3 is good. Seems like being a new thing is good. I feel like this is the way to go somehow. Oh, and that was my chance to get there. Go! Well, shoot. Whoa! No! Wish I hadn't lost that mushroom. Okay. I think that's unattainable. So let's try this one. Oh, that one doesn't even work. Okay, so this is 3 and then 3. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Okay. So let's go to 3. And then 2. 2? 2 doesn't work. Is this 4? Okay, that doesn't go anywhere. Alright. It doesn't seem crazy that it would be like, you've got to get on those guys to get up there, right? Oh, damn it. Damn it, crap. Okay. Well, I think we did it for this time, everybody. Thanks for watching. Sigh.